First Amendment right states that I have the right to petition the government for a redress of grievance without fear of punishment or reprisal. I would like to publicly address this to you, Lieutenant Governor.
You ready to go?
I think so. You ready?
Yep.
All right.
It's going to be take 6. We're going to recap on...
I think it's take 5.
Take 5? Okay. Yeah. Right. I'm going to quit counting them anyway. So.
Okay. Don't worry about it. We'll just get started then. Okay. So, you are...
The Angry Patriot. And this is the boss lady.
Hey, everybody. So glad you are watching our video. We want to do a quick recap of last week's video.
It's been a long week with Thanksgiving. We also want to thank Doggone Fishing as our sponsor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't forget them.
We'll show a short video. We have a 10% off discount code we'll add in. And a short video to show y'all how our sponsors' best pet toy ever works. Then you can order you one and your dogs can have fun. So,
yep.
You ready for a quick recap?
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
so
show the
full
video.
for Thanksgiving.
Then we'll read some of the comments.
So, let's see. The last video, we showed the woman. I won't call her a lady. She was a woman, a grandma thief, I think you call her.
Yeah.
Stealing our signs, and we were campaigning against the assistant DA that was running for a judge in our county, and we kind of didn't think that he was fit to do that because he didn't do such a great job as an assistant DA.
We don't think he's not fit. We know he's not fit.
Okay, so we were running campaign signs against him, telling everybody he was no good for Stanley County. In the process of this, let's see, we showed 4 politicians in our county that were breaking laws that we would have gotten arrested for, had to go to jail, had to go to court, probably have probation, whatever the case may be. Anyway, we showed 4 politicians just in our county in one little, 2 little videos.
Yeah, well, you know, you don't have to worry about going to jail when you got the mafia police, the muscle, backing you up. I mean.
So we did that, and we showed the one mom of the DA's assistant. That's who Grandma Thief was actually her daughter, works in the DA's office for the clerk of courts for the DA in Superior Court. So, yeah, that's how the good old boy club here works. They get their grandmas and moms out here stealing and breaking laws for them.
Now, keep in mind, there was 14 misdemeanors.
Yeah.
14 misdemeanors committed.
Well,
I can't say she did them all, but she had a.
But just the ones that we got out of her car. How many were in her car that she got caught with? 4 or 5 signs. Yeah. So in my case, since she called her daughter and put the DA on the phone, and the DA talked to the deputies that were there that were going to arrest her because their boss told them to. They get the call from the DA, and the DA says not to arrest her. So this being the case, we ended up going to court because I had to go to the magistrate and say this woman stole my signs, and so I'd like to take out some papers on her for that. So we had to have a DA from a neighboring county, obviously, because this was a conflict of interest, because this lady's daughter, or woman's daughter, sorry, this woman's daughter worked for the DA's office. So we had to out-of-town DA from conflict of interest. And then I go to court 3 times. The last one, when the assistant DA comes in there, or the district attorney, whatever she was, she told me that she couldn't tell me what exactly the woman had to do for, like, she got 90 days for good behavior. And
she didn't get nothing. She didn't have to do nothing. That's why the DA couldn't tell you what she was going to. And, don't forget, we're going to show that these 2 counties collude backwards and forwards with each other, too.
Oh, yeah.
So it ain't like she was just picked out of a random county and she's such a great DA. They knew exactly who she was.
Yeah.
They picked her and had her to come from this county.
Yeah, so anyway, but I had to be there. The district attorney that showed up tells me, well, ultimately, I work for the state. But why wasn't I thinking? And said, well, then ultimately you work for me. You should be doing your job. And she didn't. She colluded with the judge, with the DA's office.
One mafia big.
Yeah, so it was just a big old thing. So anyway, we're going to move on. And I'm going to read some of the comments that we had from the video that we showed for last week, where she was pulled over and what was going on with the signs. So Maureen wrote, these signs are constitutionally protected free speech rights under Article 1. Sue the Sheriff's Department for failing to enforce the law, bypass the state courts completely, as it's a federal matter. I'm not really sure if it's a federal matter or not, but...
Well, it was a state election. It wasn't a federal election. But yeah. I can't swear that because we're learning a lot of new laws we didn't know then.
Yeah.
If I knew the laws then that I know now, things would have been a lot different.
Yeah.
But with that being said, this is still going on and on and on. It's going to be exposed. More and more is going to happen. We're still a target. But read a few more.
Okay, so there was Jason who posted and said, the corruption in Stanley County is awful. I've been on the wrong side of the good old boy system myself. When you have police breaking the law, have proof they broke the law and nothing can be done, it is a helpless feeling. I spent a year trying to get the DA to prosecute an officer and his chief in Albemarle. I had 911 calls with every bit of evidence I needed, along with recorded conversations at the police department where they lied to my face. Police reports were intentionally destroyed. Imagine that.
Yeah, Stanley County.
I would give my effing life to prosecute those MFers in the court of law, outside Stanley County, of course. Good for you, Mr. Angry Patriot. Keep fighting the good fight. And great job reporting, Davidson Tindry. Love to let you know what they did to me. Corruption at its finest.
Well, we definitely want to talk to him. I mean, we're all about exposing it, and we still have more videos that's going to be aired. We have videos of lawyers, law firms, chief of polices.
So this guy wrote back to Jason and said that you can contact the SBI with your concerns. So how'd that go for you?
Yeah. Why don't you ask Donald Trump how that's going?
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Well, how did it go with us? It didn't go too well when we had a meeting with the SBI agent. You know why? Because him and RDA, they went to law school together. They're buddies.
Well, that's what I say about the mafia in Stanley County. They're like in every other county, They're not going to stand against each other, period. The judges ain't going to stand against prosecutors. And this is another thing. When I say judges ain't going to stand against prosecutors, we know from experience. If they don't like the judge and they think that judge ain't going to go in their favor, they're going to put your trial off until that judge that they want on court document. And I can prove this. We have it on evidence.
Absolutely.
And you're going to be found guilty no matter what if that DA wants you to. You'll either be found guilty or you'll be forced into a plea bargain, or they're going to wait till a judge is on document in their county, and then that judge is going to find you guilty no matter what.
Yeah.
And we can prove it. We got it all on hidden audio, video, court transcripts. So, you know, it is what it is, and we know what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And we need more people like that, because it's not just happening to us. I mean, you see it's happening to Trump. It's happening in small towns, big cities every day to regular citizens like us. So I'm going to read one more comment and then we'll move on with this. But so Vicky says these particular signs serve as dual purpose. Yes, they are political, but also, more importantly, to bring awareness to the corruption within the county's judiciary department. So that's what they were trying to do, was shut us down. So they were trying to violate our First Amendment rights.
Okay, here again. They did violate our First Amendment rights.
And nothing happened.
And the person that we voted for, who run their own campaign, which is called the sheriff, Sheriff Crisco, won the election. We voted for him. Mm-hmm. And the sheriff before him, we voted for. But they absolutely refused, along with their deputies, to uphold our Constitution.
Well, they think they're the boss of us now.
Well, they went along with the big boys club and did whatever the prosecutors wanted, what the judges wanted. They didn't care about nobody's Constitution. And here again, that's why I still say we need a Constitution Enforcement Agency, a street division that oversees law enforcement, politicians, judges, court systems. When a person is being illegally prosecuted or set up or targeted by law enforcement and they got any evidence that proves it, the Constitution Enforcement Division should be able to go in and immediately remove them from power, arrest them, or whatever they have to do to bring them to justice.
Well, you know, Angry Patriot from North Carolina, they do their own internal investigation. Do you not think that that's a good system?
Well, I thought about that. If I can drive you to the bank next week to rob it, if I get to do the investigation, are we going to get away with it?
I don't think so.
I don't either, because they ain't going to allow me to do my own investigation. And that's what we shouldn't allow them to do. They always want to use that excuse. There's an internal investigation. Well, that means they investigating themselves for the crimes they committed against the American taxpayers, patriots, who paid their salaries.
Yeah.
So therefore, they get away with it every time. Now, eventually, like I say, they have to throw somebody under the bus every now and then. So they'll pick somebody they don't like.
Oh, yeah. Probably somebody that's standing up to them and not letting the bad ones get away with the bad stuff they do. It's probably actually one of the good ones, but now they're targeting them.
Well, that's what happened. That's what I'm saying. They'll throw one under the bus every now and then, and that shows the rest of them how you do what we say, or you'll get run over by the next bus.
Yeah.
But that's why we need a Constitution Enforcement Agency, street division.
Yeah, don't get us wrong. We definitely think there needs to be law enforcement. Absolutely.
But if them law enforcement officers don't know how to uphold the Constitution first, they don't need to wear that uniform, plain and simple.
Yeah, it should be people, regular citizens like it was back in the day, that actually believe in law and order and not violating people's rights, like doing the right thing by people. We the people.
Well, the sheriff's departments used to be able to, you know, when a person ran for sheriff, he was just a good citizen. He didn't have to be in law enforcement. He didn't have to be a lawyer or a politician.
Yeah.
He could just go out, if he had enough money to run his campaign, run for sheriff. If he won, he could clean up the dirty law enforcement, the dirty sheriff's departments, anybody that was breaking the laws and violating constitutions. But now he has to be law enforcement for 3.5 years before he can ever even run for sheriff.
That's just crazy.
So therefore, he's already in line with the good old boys. He's going to do whatever his buddies want him to do. He ain't going to care about your Constitution. And that's what we're going to call him out on. I mean, we got evidence to prove what we're saying. So it's just all about now us getting all the stories out there, all the videos, and build a system of American taxpayers who actually want to have their freedoms and do it with law enforcement, but they have to do it with us. I mean, you know what was done to us. Mm-hmm. And it ain't like we say all the time, it ain't just us. And it didn't just stop with us. We would just throw it out the way. We know that it happens every day in Stanley County. I mean, every day.
Well, it happens all the time because all the lawyers are in with the DAs. The DAs, they write notes on the little folders that they give to the judges, and
they'll wait till that judge they want's on document.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, Trump's getting all these crazy lunatic liberal judges out there that you don't even get a right to a jury.
See, that's an example I'm talking about right there. Where's the sheriff in that county?
Right.
He's supposed to uphold Trump's Constitution too.
Yeah.
Why hasn't he went in there and arrested that judge and that DA? He has the power to. He's the sheriff of the Constitution. He is the one that's supposed to make sure that the Constitution shouldn't be violated by nobody, not DAs, judges, lawyers, people in the streets, law enforcement officers. That is solely to start with is the sheriff's job is to make sure all government officials is upholding your Constitution. Mm-hmm. That was solely his job to begin with, to make sure government was treating the American citizens safe.
Yeah.
And keep the American citizens safe from other American citizens. I'm like you. We have to have law enforcement. That's not a doubt. But if they're not going to uphold the Constitution, then they're just hired gunmen for the paid off politicians.
That's it.
If they're not going to know the Constitution and they ain't going to uphold the Constitution, if they're going to obey orders however they're given, no matter what they are, then they're nothing but hired thugs. They're the mafia. They're not out here for me and you. Or y'all.
Yeah.
And we're going to prove that by one place we're going to go is a training facility. And we're just going to find out if they're teaching the Constitution in there while they're teaching all these police officers their rules. And
I don't think they are.
Regulations.
I don't think they are at all. They're teaching them how to lie and bully people and intimidate people. That's what they're teaching them. They're not teaching them the Constitution. I bet you can't not one of them pass the test on it at the end of the day.
I hope one day we can actually sit down and talk on our show with law enforcement that actually stands up against their politicians. Mm-hmm. That can actually show us, hey, look, I'm not in that good old boys club. I took an oath to uphold the Constitution. That's what I'm going to do. I'm studying it. I know what the biggest majority of it is your first, second, and third amendment.
Your fourth, your fifth.
Well, they got to start somewhere. They can either start up and come down, or they can start down and go up. But they got to learn it. If they're not learning it and they don't know none of it, they can't enforce it.
They should have to learn how to say it forwards and backwards, like they want people that are doing DWI checks to do the alphabet. Like, we didn't learn the alphabet backwards in school.
I want to know why they have to swear to uphold it if they don't know
it. Yeah.
I mean, that's just one question I'd like for anybody.
Why don't they just be honest and say, hey, we don't know it. We're going to use intimidation tactics to get whatever we want and whoever we want to, regardless if we got the right person or the wrong person or whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's come to the point where we have to uphold our own Constitution. And another thing, I was getting lost there. I was fixing to go where I don't need to be today. We need every American citizen that believes in your Constitution to carry the Bill of Rights in your pocket. When a cop tries to violate it, call him out on it. Know your rights when they get on you. That's where I messed up. I didn't know all my rights. I didn't know that certain laws they have to obey or you can attain evidence and hold it against them. I didn't know you could sue certain people. I thought they had qualified immunity, and they do, as long as they're upholding the Constitution and your rights. But if they violate your rights, like Sandra Locke Jordan stealing her property and the sheriff's protecting them, you know, my personal opinion, I had the rights to arrest that thieving woman myself, but the law enforcement wasn't going to let me. So we need someone who says, well, if the law enforcement ain't going to arrest her, all they're going to do is protect her. That means we have no choice but to go arrest this woman. If law enforcement stands in the way, we arrest them. It's almost just like it is with the illegal immigrants. If Border Patrol ain't going to do their job, we need to put American patriots out there that's going to. I don't care to hear no excuses about government won't let them. They're not working for the government. They work for we the people.
That's right.
If law enforcement in these cities want to use the excuse, I'm not Border Patrol, well, here's the perfect answer for that. They're not in the border no more. They're not at the border. They're in the cities. So if law enforcement ain't going to police illegal immigrants in our cities, what right do they have to police us? They're mafia boss politicians who are actually supposed to work for us.
Yeah.
But it's to the point where we have no choice but to do something. I know that we're still a target, and we're going to be a target as long as we, especially doing this. I mean,
well, anybody that wants to expose the corruption in your county is going to be a target, even in the surrounding counties, because they all are in the same little Cracker Jack box together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they work as an organized unit. I mean, they don't care about the Constitution. They all want. I mean, they're on videotape saying we don't give a shit about your Constitution.
Yeah.
And they don't, as long as they get paid and they get to go home and feed their families and take care of their bills and ride around in cars. They don't care about the Constitution. I mean, you might have a few that actually care, but they're not going to do nothing about it.
Yeah. Well, and then you got the ordeal with all the illegal immigrants that are coming in and.
Well, we're gonna. No, we know everybody knows they're here, but like we heard today, that one talking about, what was he hollering? Just give us work permits. Just give us work permits. That's all we need. Well, what about the unemployed Americans?
Yeah.
I mean, if any politician or any government official gives an illegal immigrant a work permit, he should be arrested for treason. Plain and simple. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know how that goes with everybody out there, but like Lindsey Graham, he'd much rather have illegal immigrants over here working than our companies and factories overseas.
Mm-hmm.
What you looking at there?
40,000 hours of video footage released from January 6th
to
the public.
You know, I owe you for that, because I'd be in jail right now. I'd be one incarcerated. You talked me into not going. We was within that close of going. You know, I was ready to go, and you talked me out of going.
Yeah,
I ain't about vandalizing nothing. I ain't about tearing up nobody's property.
Neither are Trump supporters.
Oh no,
we've been to tons of rallies.
I'd have went to jail way before I ever got in, because when I seen someone knock out one of the windows, I'd have took his skateboard and broke it over his head.
Yeah, we even actually went to the Capitol for July 4th when Trump called for supporters to come have a freedom rally.
Yeah, March for Freedom rally.
Yeah, and I mean, the people that were there, we had a blast. And so there's more behind this January 6th than...
No, it was all set up. It was all set up.
It's the bad thing is because these guys and girls are sitting in there for almost 3 years now, 36 months, haven't even had a trial. Some of them haven't even been charged. They're just sitting there because they were close by. Yeah.
That's kidnapping. I don't care if it's the federal government doing it or it's the local government doing it, if it's my next door neighbor doing it. You don't have a right to imprison people and not charge them, or much less give them a trial.
Yeah.
I mean, what if we started doing that to these politicians? I don't see how they like it. I mean, you know, they want to scream equal rights and everybody's treated equal. Let's start arresting them. We'll hold them in some cages 2 or 3 years, and then we'll think up the charges.
Well, the stupid politicians that were talking about it being worse than 9/11 are just freaking insane.
Well, they wanted it to be. It wasn't, but to them, they want it to be. But here again, everybody in America knows the real truth. The liberals are too, they know the ones that do, they don't care. But the American patriots know what was done on the 6th, and they know it's going to happen again. I don't know why people think that Trump gets elected on November the 4th, November the 5th. They're just going to turn over everything to American patriots, and we're going to have a great life, and everything's going to go good. I still ask this same question. What happens if they do manage to steal it again? We supposed to just go on and surrender?
Well, you know, we did see the video of the guy that the police had pulled around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
That was in the Capitol, and removed his handcuffs and fist bumped the officer. He still had, like, his helmet on and...
Yeah, but they couldn't really mace him in the face. He wouldn't be able to see how to go back out there and bust up some more people.
Fist bump the police, Capitol Police, like, we did it. Good show. Yeah.
Well, you know, that's why I mean, where's the people that's supposed to uphold the Constitution? Where's the sheriffs? Every law enforcement, I thought, took to uphold the Constitution. I thought the FBI did. I thought the CIA did. I mean, at some point, we got to stop and look and say, okay, whose job is it to actually uphold the Constitution? Politicians ain't doing it. All they're doing is signing laws against it. They ain't none of them signed a law in the last 20 years that actually benefits the Constitution of the United States for we the people. There's some kind of amendment in every law they sign to take a little bit more rights away from us, one way or another.
Yeah.
So whether it's in the 5th Amendment of their little new law or the 95th Amendment of their new law, they're going to have some amendment in there that actually chips away a little more of the rights.
Yeah.
And it ain't going to stop until we the people stop it.
Yeah, and for anybody that thinks that it's just, oh, well, they just want to do this, and they just want to take this away. Like, who really needs this? That's not even the point. When they start chipping away at it, they start taking your rights away little by little by little. And then you look at what's going on with Venezuela, with Cuba. The only people there with guns are the police and the criminals. Yep. The regular working hard citizens are being robbed by thugs every day with guns, like telling them they can run this restaurant, but they have to give them a percentage of the sales, and they go in and...
Well, that's called taxation over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's taxation
the
over here.
IRS
It's the mafia over there.
Yeah. Well, it's the criminals in the mafia, kind of like they used to do in New York, or may still do, I don't know. New York's looking really bad with all the illegal immigrants out on the streets there. Woo, it's getting bad.
Yeah, like I say, you see it. They're screaming now that they ain't got enough money to take care of them. They wasn't screaming that 3 years ago when they were screaming all immigrants have all rights. Same rights as we got. Bring them in, let them through the borders.
They thought it was just
it's racist to close off the border.
This is going to be a border problem.
All he's looking at now is it's almost election time, and he needs to stand up and look like he's trying to help the New York citizens and hoping that they'll vote for him. He ain't nothing but a traitor. He don't care about none of them citizens in New York that now they have to get up at 8 o'clock and try to be there at 8:30 to get food and get in line. When they show up, there's 10,000 illegal immigrants 2 miles long down the corner already getting their food, and they can't get it. This is what happens when government says, we're going to take care of you. We're going to feed you. You don't need a job. We're shipping them overseas. You just obey us and vote for me. That's what you do. Now you look at what's going on. All the immigrants is over there. These people living on welfare, government housing, food stamps, and eating from a food corner. They ain't got no job, can't get one. Probably wouldn't know how to work. They'd have to be trained all over again.
Well, who's even going to understand all the different languages? Because, I mean, you got people from Mexico, Guatemala, China, Iran, they were talking about today, Afghanistan, Venezuela. I can't even tell you all the different countries that those guys go by and tell Ben Berquam.
Well, that's like, that's a good point, and I'm glad you brought that up, because you look at all these people all from all these foreign countries. Nobody knows that they're criminals, murderers, rapists, drug dealers. No, they get a whole new life over here.
Yeah.
They not put in a database over here. Oh, this guy's committed felony in Guatemala, so now he's going to be registered in their database.
True.
But if you made a mistake 35 years ago, 40 years ago, and you're in that base, you're still in there. You're not getting that's being held against you.
Mm-hmm.
So illegal immigrants get a whole new life, paid for by us.
Yeah.
And we get put in a database of what we mark for the rest of our life. If you made a mistake, it don't matter if you made it at 18 years old or 80 years old, you're still in that database.
Yeah.
Another thing too, I went to Harbor Freight Black Friday trying to get a piece for my tractor. And I seen a whole group. When I say group, I'm talking about 6, 7 immigrants. I don't know where they're from, but they were speaking foreign languages, and I just wanted to glance around. And I realized they was looking at a double-door gun safe. Now, either they hiding a lot of money that they're making and getting off us, or they fixing to pick guns in them. And how does illegal immigrants buy guns when American citizens can't get them?
Right.
I mean, of course, they wasn't going to tell me why they was wanting to buy it. I couldn't speak their language. I didn't understand what they were saying. But they was buying a double-door gun safe. Why did they need a double-door gun safe? Where they getting the guns from? And how they getting the money to buy it if they had to come over here because they were so broke to be in their country?
Yeah, if they buying a big old safe like that, they got some stuff to put in it.
Yeah, well, they be filling it full of drugs and money, or they filling it full of guns and money, or guns, money, and drugs. I mean, I don't know, but I'd like to have a double-door gun safe slap full of money. But it caught my mind because I'm like, people over here gets their gun rights taken every day. That's all the Democrat and the Rhino Republicans want to do is ban Americans from having their guns. But yet here's illegal immigrants speaking foreign languages, buying a double-door gun safe from Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, don't it?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, I just like to know how they're getting these, nice vehicles they're driving, buying all these houses up around here.
Well, I think as American citizens and American construction workers, we should start shutting down every job. I don't care. We need to band together, form an organization of American workers. I don't care if you're pipe workers, siders, framers, roofers. When you find a big housing development being built, force them to make it go to American citizens. If any illegal immigrants show up to work on that job, arrest them yourselves. I mean, it's the only way. Law enforcement, they will police you at them job sites before they will them illegal immigrants. And we're gonna find out.
Absolutely. I will say one thing real quickly is because I had somebody came up and had talked about being in an accident, and they had to have like blood given to them, like 2 pints of blood or something like that. So I'm just wondering and curious if they're labeling blood for vaccinated people or unvaccinated people, because we're pure blood, and I wouldn't really want somebody's vaccinated blood. I'm not sure how this works. I know if you're in a critical situation like that, I guess you just want something to save your life, but all at the same time, how are they working this?
Well, they save that blood. All they got to do is just put the vaccination in the blood, even if you ain't vaccinated.
Oh.
Yeah, they just vaccinate the blood as they store it.
Mm.
If they can store it and keep it, they can vaccinate it.
Oh, it's really scary, y'all.
Yes, yeah. Just because if you get in the wreck today, I know you ain't vaccinated, and I ain't vaccinated, and I ain't gonna get vaccinated. But who's to say they won't take your blood and go vaccinate it after you donate it to them? That way, when the person gets it the next time, they know they already vaccinated.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't put nothing past them whatsoever.
Mm-mm. And Jiffy Cornbread has that bioengineered ingredients in it too, just so everybody knows.
People should start reading all their food ingredients, and it should be a felony for any company to put biogenetic engineered food. Don't matter if they're labeled or not. If the American people ain't smart enough in our country to grow food for us to eat without it having bioengineered genetic in it, then we should starve then. The hell with it. We shouldn't eat.
Is that the stuff that they're spraying in the skies and the planes? They're doing the chemtrails every day that's going in our ground? And
well, one thing I'll bet you is that the people in the government, the deep state and all, they're not eating the same food we eating. They're not eating these chemicals and bioengineered and all in their foods. They ain't feeding that to their families. No, that's out there for us to eat. Yeah, we feed it to the people.
That was heartbreaking. I really like Jiffy cornbread.
Yeah, I like McDonald's French fries until you read that to me too. I ain't eating those no
yeah,
more.
By the way, that's a Bill Gates thing. He owns the tater farms that McDonald's buys their fries from, and he also owns the plant where they cut them up and do the chemical baths and all that. So you have to think about that. With chemicals. Yeah, you have to think about that. That's how they get their golden brown flavor. Oh, but so also they're vegan, or they're not vegetarian but vegan, or not vegan but vegetarian, something like that. Because they have a beef stock that they dip them in. So, because that's what gives them this flavor that they had when they started the very beginning with the French fries. But Bill Gates owns the tater farms and the chemical bath place, and so that's something you should think of if you eat at McDonald's.
That's another thing. I don't understand why these people ain't been rounded up and arrested. We know they pay off politicians. We know the lobbyists work for them. We know they're putting chemicals in our food. They work with foreign countries to take our jobs and give it to them. They work nothing but illegal and cheap labor on the jobs they have over here, on the farms they got it. I mean, at what point do the American people not just say, the hell with this, and arrest all of them? I mean, we see politicians all the time, they breaking the law, and it's always, well, we got an internal investigation coming. It takes 10 years, they die of old age before anything ever happens to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't know, it's crazy. I don't know, what do you start to do to make changes in this stuff? Because it's definitely not voting for some of these politicians out here, because they tell you lies and tell you they're going to do things until they get your vote, and then they're up there just worrying about lining their pockets with the backdoor deals from their big donors that they said, oh yeah, we'll hook you up. Yeah, oh yeah, I'll do this for you, honey, don't worry, I got you. Yeah, they done forgot about you once they
the minute they get elected. The minute they get elected, they done forgot about you.
Yeah, I'm
in the big boys club now. I don't need nobody down there.
Yeah,
ain't that right, Mr. Robinson? Mark Robinson.
Yeah. Mr. Mark Robinson.
I don't want him to think we forgot about you. Now we got almost a year and a whole month to expose you.
Yep.
And we're going to expose you.
Why you lie. Why you lied to me. Why you let us get completely targeted more after we did a First Amendment redress of grievance. You totally violated it. Think about that.
Yeah, he didn't care about them veterans that got robbed. We ain't done on that deal neither.
So, we hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I know I got my belly full. Still cooked a big old pot of beans after, and apple cobbler in the crock pot. But we got doggone fishing for our sponsor, and so we're going to put in a little quick video for y'all to check out, and the promo code for them is NCAP23, and that'll give you a 10% off of your entire cart when you order. So go check it out, because you and your dogs will have a complete fun time with this toy, guaranteed.
Oh yeah, they'll be spoiled. I know our dogs are.
You will learn to spell fishing. You just mentioned the word fishing. it's on. You're going to go fishing before the night's over. Or she's not going to leave you alone. One of the two.
So we're gonna get off of here. We're gonna talk again tomorrow, hopefully, and see where this goes. And hope y'all enjoyed everything. And we're gonna continue.
Whoop, signing off.
Yeah, we're gonna sign off now.
I'm gonna
yeah. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. Yeah, there we go.
Our buttons. We've been trying to get it up. We're also on Rumble, YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, Getter, and TikTok. Our email address is ncangrypatriot1776@gmail.com. So
It was good night time.
good night.
And y'all have a good night. And
Great weekend.
everybody be safe.
Thanks for watching. Hope to see y'all soon.
Yep.